August 1, the 213th day of 2022. There are 152 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield Country Station 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Plus, we'll welcome in a new month, and we'll have the water cooler question. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
You were up a little before 6 o'clock this morning. Is that fair?
Oh, yeah.
Was it a lot before 6 or just a few before 6?
5:13.
Oh, 5:13. Okay. All right. So you were up earlier than I realized. A poll of 2,000 adults now finds that 6:44 a.m. is the optimum wake-up time when you're trying to have an ideal morning.
I don't know the last time I slept until 6:45
So
or 6:44.
6:44, I can see if eyes open and you get 6:44 and you think, well, if I lay here for about 10 minutes or so and kind of wake up, I'll be up around 7. It's 5 hours until noon. I can have a whole productive morning, and then, you might earn yourself an afternoon nap. No?
I mean,
Yes.
I'm usually up no later than 5:45.
Okay. So an hour before 6:44 then.
Yeah. On the weekend, it might be closer to 6:44,
Yep.
but
Okay, well, there you go. I used to would have said 7:44, but now I guess I'm more in the 6:44 camp on. That seems to split the difference between normal and sleeping in. He is the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley and the Sparks. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. It's I'm wondering, hear any rumors about a pickleball team forming locally by any chance?
I have not.
No. Is pickleball something? Do you have the bandwidth to add pickleball to your sports coverage?
I mean, potentially. I played it. We did it like in a gym class. You feature a couple of days on every sport. So I did probably like 2 days of pickleball.
So
That's all I
pickleball was already invented when you were in high school?
Uh-huh.
No, I didn't realize that.
Back in the Stone Ages.
I thought pickleball was just really a last decade type of thing.
Well, I mean, I was a senior in high school in the last decade.
Goodness.
Well, barely though.
I graduated in 2015, so
true.
7 years ago.
So, yeah, pickleball has transformed into
I'm an
a
old man.
multi-million-dollar industry now, with 3 different professional pickleball leagues, 2 competing international leagues, and countless manufacturers of merchandise, an official Hall of Fame. I wonder where the Pickleball Hall of Fame is, and even a pickleball-themed entertainment complex. So pickleball is like miniature tennis. It's not so miniature that it becomes table tennis, but I guess it takes up about half of what a normal tennis court would take.
The way I describe it is it's like you're playing tennis on a badminton court.
Playing tennis on a badminton court, but do you use the same ball?
No, you
use a special
can't.
ball?
A badminton ball is not going to.
No. Do you use a normal tennis ball?
No, I think it's a bigger ball.
Oh, okay. So that's where okay, good. All right. Well,
So you bat it?
No, it's like tennis.
You play just like tennis, but the court is shrunken
I don't mean
and the
like
ball is
bat
bigger.
with a baseball bat, but you bat at it with like a
With a racket?
with a racket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you have less area to cover. And so
I would be better at that than tennis.
Yes, because you have less room. I mean, you just have less room that you have. Not as much lateral movement line to line from the moving if you're going into the net and back. So,
Well, that doesn't sound terrible.
I would love to play tennis. I might love to play pickleball because, well, when you get to be as old as I am. It's hard.
Tennis is, well, in tennis, you don't realize how much of a workout it is.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're doing a lot of lateral movements back to forth because it's just quick little movements. I'm trying to find out where the pickleball Hall of Fame is.
The movies I watch where they play tennis, it wears me out just watching it.
Well, maybe there probably aren't many pickleball movies yet to watch and see if you get worn out by that. Hey, strong thunderstorms are possible this evening, and we may see some heat and humidity return middle of the week. This says Wednesday high for the region is 95. I don't think it's going to get to 95 here between the lakes. So I do think we could see a high in the lower 90s on Wednesday, and I think we could see a heat index around 100, but we'll keep an eye on that as it comes into focus more in the next 24 hours or so. But the heat that builds Wednesday as humidity will also increase, and we'll see highs in the 90s expected Wednesday, but the humidity will make it feel muggy like you're wearing a sweater. Rain chances return for the end of the week and then the upcoming weekend. So we'll see rain chance 60% today, and a high will top out probably about 88, 89. Tonight, we'll see some thunderstorms and a low of 74, partly cloudy, and 90, we'll call it 90 for tomorrow is what you can expect. Unfortunately, over for our friends in eastern Kentucky, they may get more rain, and they definitely don't need more rain. Most of their waterways or makeshift waterways have crested and are going the other way, so they don't need any high levels of precipitation to make matters worse as they continue to uncover and assess damage for storms that happened last week. 2 different days, they dumped a big amount of rain on that region. The radar indication where the precipitation totals were indicated last week for Kentucky were just extremely remarkable, because in that southeastern corner of the state, it looked like radar indicated like a cyclone, because just all of a sudden, with perfect circular definition, it turned that purplish, almost black type of color. Some areas got a foot of rain in a day, and areas that aren't used to seeing water saw it. And if you've never visited eastern Kentucky, I don't think we talk about it and we have fun. We tongue in cheek talk about some of our visits to eastern Kentucky and how it's different. I'm just telling you, it's different. If you've not been, you don't really know what it's like living here in western Kentucky on what they're dealing with. Most of their roads, from an infrastructure standpoint, they're just in a really have been and continue to be in a tough spot. They got older bridges. Their idea of what we would consider a secondary road, or like, oh, that's not a very good road, they would say, well, that's a normal road for us. So then you take all of that water through the area and it just wipes out all of their road and bridge infrastructure, and it's nearly impossible to respond to try and get them the supplies and that they need, and to help them recover. The number of rescues that they did by boat and by air were in the hundreds. We've now gone over 30 people lost, and it's one of the most remarkable, I guess one of the most heartwarming things that I've observed over the course of the weekend. A lot of people talking about how to help, what it is that they need. It's been heartwarming to see our neighbors in western Kentucky that spent December, January, February, and still to this day trying to recover from deadly storms that move through, then poised to ask, we stand ready now to help you because you helped us. In a time when we needed it most, you all responded. And that's not to say that our friends in Graves County in that area, that they've got everything all patched up and it's smooth sailing and they're ready to go. But they're saying we're far enough along in our process that we'll pause whatever it is we need here at home to respond to you into the 606 area code and help our friends and neighbors. And so there's a lot of there are a lot of recovery and relief efforts that are forming, various ones. You won't have any trouble finding ways to help if you want to help. Heard the governor talk about just a few minutes ago what eastern Kentucky needs and what they don't need. Always remember, I just exchanged a quick message with Misty this morning. She's deployed into eastern Kentucky, and told her that we're praying not only for eastern Kentucky, but for her. And maybe we'll get to talk to her in the next couple of days to get a better feel for what the American Red Cross is doing, and then maybe she individually is doing. And I would also just tell you, you can never go wrong if you want to donate to the American Red Cross. They will be helping people in that area or in similar situations. Now, on the opposite end of the country, California is seeing its largest wildfire of the year so far. Crews are battling the largest wildfire so far this year in California. It's braced for thunderstorms and hot, windy conditions that created the potential for additional fire growth. Yesterday, just heard at the top of the hour, I think a couple was found inside a burned out car in a driveway. They couldn't even get out of their driveway to flee the wildfire, so it's deadly there. It's just the extremes of that is a foot of rain in in about a day in eastern Kentucky, and you got the worst wildfire of the year. If you could just put those two things together, they definitely could use the rain to help extinguish those fires. So
These pictures look fake.
yeah, they do look like something you would see out of the something out of Hollywood. There was a murder investigation, and an arrest over the course of the weekend that had its eyes on Hart County. The murder occurred Friday night just before 6 at a residence in the 10,000 block of Hammondsville Road in Hart County. State police said they were reporting to a deceased male in the yard of that address. Then they found 78-year-old Robert Myers, who had suffered multiple gunshot wounds. He was pronounced deceased at the scene by the Hart County Coroner's Office. State police said Myers was shot after he confronted 3 men who were stealing items from a residence he owned. The suspects were spotted leaving the scene in a U-Haul truck traveling north on Hammondsville Road. It took a few hours, but they were able to arrest on Saturday morning. They found the U-Haul truck. Troopers that afternoon arrested 21-year-old Cecil Daniels and 31-year-old Brandon Hodge, charged them with Myers' murder. But then last night, they arrested the one additional individual. Now we have a total of 3 arrests. They arrested 65-year-old Dale Edward Hodge and charged with him with complicity to commit murder. And according to online records, Dale Hodge is Brandon Hodge's father, so they are all lodged and housed in the Hart County Jail. A Beaver Dam woman is facing DUI and drug charges after attempting to drive through high water. This happened late Thursday night, about 9:45. A vehicle driven by 20-year-old Brooklyn Gossett proceeded to drive through high waters on US 62 in Beaver Dam. The vehicle stalled, became disabled. Then when rescuers and first responders arrived at the scene, they found a 20-year-old Bryson Underwood of Central City and a strong odor of marijuana detected inside the vehicle, so both were arrested on various charges. Also saw a headline from late last week that through efforts of the Grayson County Sheriff's Office and the Falls of Rough Volunteer Fire Department, they maybe were able to recover some, not all, but some of the items that were stolen from the firehouse last week, and I think there's an ongoing investigation. May hear more about that. It's so some of your big news. Also saw the president has COVID or tested positive for COVID again, what they call a rebound case. So hope he's okay, but a little bit puzzling on that. He positive COVID, and then he seemed to be okay, and then he tested positive again, so I don't know what's going on with that. It's the time of year when hummingbirds begin to move south, and the Friends of Land Between the Lakes are hosting their annual Hummingbird Festival this weekend. Sam, is that where you'll be?
I don't think so.
You typically attend. The event runs from 10 to 5 Saturday and Sunday at the Woodlands Nature Station. Hummingbirds, they're
I love them.
They're
I
amazing.
actually had one when I was sitting outside over the weekend that kept coming back.
Yeah?
I used to try to feed them, but they never would come. But
Right.
there's one.
My grandma would always really likes them, and she'd always have a hummingbird feeder.
In a higher density neighborhood, you've got to out sugar your
Yes,
neighbors.
you do.
Because it was like, well, they just have a little better, they have a little better treats for the hummingbirds, so they drift off in that direction. So if you can, box out your neighbors a little bit and get away, then you might be a little more
Well,
successful.
now they're probably all making the trip to Land Between the Lakes this weekend, so there's not going to be anybody.
Probably. Imagine what traffic's going to be like on the parkway with all those hummingbirds traveling. I mean, it'll be so. Just when you're out driving on the Parkway this week, just be careful of all the hummingbirds.
Does Chris Jesse have to create a plan for that, or is that not? That's headed towards his wrong direction, I guess.
Well, yeah, it's headed away, but he's got a colleague down there. The hummingbirds, I think, have been instructed their airspace is at least 10 feet off the ground to fly above the Parkway.
Is Chris Jesse's only 8 feet off the ground then, and he loses jurisdiction?
Something like that, yeah. Something above 8 feet. Tyler Reddick this month already grabbed his first Cup career victory, qualified for NASCAR's playoff, and signed a big contract with a new team. And now he is a winner at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It was the road course, I guess they call it the Roval. These portions of the famous track at the Brickyard, and then they use some of the road course as well. So they had that yesterday. It was a pretty exciting race. And then what did the Reds do yesterday?
They won.
They did win yesterday.
Yep. So they are 9-5 against the AL East.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw that they played well against Baltimore. The Yankees got 2 of 3 from the Royals. Were you surprised, Sam, that Castillo is now a Seattle Mariner?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's the Seattle Reds.
Well, I mean, okay.
Jesse Winker, Eugenio Suarez.
So
you will see me come October. I will be jumping on the Mariners bandwagon.
You will? Okay. So
3 of my favorite Reds.
All right. So, but is this just more about you're happy that he's not a Yankee?
Well, that, and I'm glad that he's going to a place that I can cheer for.
It's interesting. You're disdain for the Yankee.
I don't have any disdain towards the Yankees. It's. I mean, if I'm listing teams, they're not at the bottom. They're definitely not at the top, though.
Oh, I also saw the other piece of big news that I presume made you happy was the Reds are no longer in last place.
Yeah, they passed the Pirates.
Yeah, so I just figured
Pittsburgh always deserves to be at the bottom of everything.
I just figured it made it especially,
and they're coming up on those Cubbies too.
Better that
they're almost in 3rd place.
They are ahead of the Pirates. Like if you got to be ahead of somebody, you always want to be ahead of them, I presume. A woman hoping to get revenge on her ex-boyfriend by burning down his house set fire to the wrong address. 49-year-old Christy Louise Jones has been charged with arson and assault with a deadly weapon after allegedly causing $20,000 worth of damage to the home in Gold Hill, North Carolina. Armed with a rifle, the homeowner emerged from the property in the early morning after a neighbor noticed flames on his front porch. He saw a woman standing beside a car mumble something before getting in and driving away. Jones was charged with assault after allegedly brushing the victim with the car. They found her a little bit later. Now, I must know what she mumbled.
Well, I mean,
oh, crap.
How did she get the address wrong?
I'm going to go with if she's going to set somebody's house on fire, I'm going to say she's not perfectly well adjusted.
Well, And maybe stalker as opposed to actual boyfriend,
maybe,
like she was stalking.
Maybe she had a couple of apple juices before she did it too.
But the truth will be in the mumble, though. I'd like to know, oh no, this is the wrong house. Or, did she say, well, that'll show you? Like, did she when did she find out she was at the wrong house? That's what I'm curious to know. But I guess we'll never know until the trial. So we'll figure it all out. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. We'll have more on the way here on In the Know.
When the heat rises this summer, your energy usage can go up too. But at KU, we're here to help with simple summer energy saving tips. Switch your ceiling fans to turn counterclockwise and create a cooling breeze. Weather strip or caulk doors and windows to keep the cool air in. Visit lge-ku.com/toolbox for more energy saving tips. Our energies go to serving you.
Hear that music? It can only mean breakfast bagels are back at McDonald's. Imagine a folded egg, 2 slices of cheese, plus your choice of a steak patty, bacon, or sausage, all in a toasted bagel. That's right, the steak, egg, and cheese bagel, bacon, egg, and cheese bagel, and sausage, egg, and cheese bagels are all back, but only for a limited time at McDonald's. Price and participation may vary.
We sell the best and fix the rest.
For new appliances at great prices, shop My Father's House in Clarkson. My Father's House has been a name you trust for great values on great brand names and appliances. Now, during the cash and carry sale, get an Amana washer and dryer set for only $900 or a 21 cubic foot Whirlpool refrigerator for only $775.
We sell the best and fix the rest.
See Danny at My Father's House Monday through Friday from 10 to 2 on East Main Street, Clarkson.
Elon Musk is now countersuing Twitter. After Musk broke off his deal to buy the social media site for $44 billion, Twitter sued the Tesla CEO in an attempt to hold him to their agreement. On Friday, Musk countersued, but asked the court to keep the details of the suit quiet. Because of this, there isn't a version of his filing available to the public. A version with sensitive details redacted could be released within the month. Last week, a judge ruled that the Twitter versus Musk trial would begin on October the 17th. Facebook is no longer going to pay for news content. Matt Mattinson explains.
Axios reports Meta has told publishers it won't pay for content to run on Facebook's News tab. The move comes after Meta's revenue shrank for the first time in the company's history. Facebook spent around $105 million for news content, including $20 million to the New York Times, $10 million to the Wall Street Journal, and $3 million to CNN.
And Johnny Depp making an appearance in a trailer for an upcoming video game called Sea of Dawn. Tech Report, Mark Mayfield.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Today is Mahjong Day.
Oh, love it.
Never played it.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Because isn't that the game that's usually on the back of a checkerboard sometimes that you'd get with like
On the back of a checkerboard.
You match tiles.
It could be. It
They
is a
look like
tile
Chinese
game.
tiles.
Yeah, and so you've got to match. You got to take them off at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know how
And
it would be
so-
back on the back of the
I
game
have
board.
a version on my iPad that I enjoy playing, but I don't play
Oh,
it
okay, I'm
very.
thinking of
I
something
don't play it
else.
very
I'm thinking of
often.
something else.
But so they start with stacks. You have these little pyramids, and then you got to remove. You got to remove them all at the same
Yeah, no,
time.
I've never
and
played that.
Got to clear all those.
Love
so
it.
it's not too bad. It's what's the movie Crazy Rich Asians? It's kind of featured because it's their ancestors that play. Like that's a social game
yeah,
in
now-
Asia.
now that you're saying that,
they
yeah.
play. You'll go to mahjong parlors where they'll gather around tables of four and they'll have tournaments and that type of thing. So it's also raspberry cream pie today. By the way, I enjoyed that movie, the Crazy
I
Rich
just
Asian
watched
movie. It's a
it
good movie.
for the first time maybe 2 months ago. It was good.
Okay, good.
It was surprisingly good.
Today, this month also, it's August 1, so we kick off a new month. It's Admit You're Happy Month. It's Family Fun Month. The Dog Days of Summer continue through August 11. They began back on July 3rd. It's International Pirate Month. It's Catfish Month. It's Eye Exam Month. It's Golf Month. Picnic Month. Peach Month. Romance Awareness Month. And Water Quality Month. So all those things are happening.
All right.
Now, International Clown Week is always August 1st through 7th. This first week is National Simplify Your Life Week. Next week is National Smile Week. The third week is Friendship Week. And the fourth week is Be Kind to Humankind Week. That's too much kinds. Be kind to humankind. Just be kind to humans. That would be easier.
Yeah, a little it rolls off the tongue a little easier.
Get ready. Tomorrow is National Ice Cream Sandwich Day.
It's always go-to classic.
I have some in the freezer.
Wednesday is Watermelon Day.
We have watermelon at home.
Thursday is National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day.
And I'll take the chocolate chip cookies over the watermelon.
Thursday is also Coast Guard Day. Friday is Oyster Day.
All right.
Friday is Underwear Day.
Gotta have it.
I'm not sure if that means do or do not, but anyway. August 6th is Campfire Day. It's always the first Saturday in August. It's still a little hot for a campfire, I think.
Well, couple of the nights.
Yeah, it's been okay. Now, if you're off in Michigan or Montana or somewhere in August where it's actually pleasant, then
I know it's
it's not nearly as humid.
Friday night, ran to the store about 9 o'clock that night, and it was about 65.
Huh.
So it was a little chilly.
Saturday is National Mustard Day.
I like mustard.
I do too.
Sunday is Forgiveness Day. Sunday is Sister's Day. Now, I don't know if that means if you have one or you have to be one. I don't know how that works. Just Sister's Day. So, like for me, I have
I think
two. I have at least two.
I think that it's a day for them, and I think you're supposed to then pamper them in some instances.
Okay,
Like-
well, I'm out.
Like Mother's Day. Or,
Exactly.
No, okay. I need a clear idea of when Brothers Day is before I can commit to vociferously with Sister's Day. What else?
Is there a Brother's Day?
I'm sure there is.
There's got to be.
There
a
needs
Brother's
to be two of those. August 8th is Sneak Some Zucchini Onto Your Neighbor's Porch Day.
No, that's Brothers and Sisters Day. No, National Brothers Day is May the 24th. There you go.
Oh, well, you
Put it
missed
in the
that.
calendar.
Well, I'll just treat my sisters the way they treated me for that day.
Okay.
Basically, just pay no attention to it.
And going back to the zucchini, if anybody wants to leave any on my porch, I'm fine with that.
Okay. The 10th is Lazy Day. The 11th is Presidential Joke Day. The 12th is Kool-Aid Day. It's always the
Classic.
second Friday in August. August 13th, Sam, get ready, is Left-Handers Day.
Yep, that's our day.
August 14th is Creamsicle Day.
Ooh.
August 16th is Roller Coaster Day. The 19th is Aviation Day. August 20th is National Honeybee Awareness Day. August 20th is also National Radio Day.
Well, how about that? We get consecutive Saturdays.
That's right.
Left-handers and then radio.
Left-handed broadcasters are just living it up in August. August 22nd is National Tooth Fairy Day. The 25th is Kiss and Make Up Day. Do you feel bad that your birthday is on National Toilet Paper Day, or is that okay? 'Cause
No, because
You gotta
there's
have
something better on my birthday than that.
Women's Equality Day.
Yes.
Yeah. But that's not nearly as funny to talk about, so that's why I went with
No,
Toilet Paper
I mean,
Day.
it's not, but Sam's right. I mean, you need toilet paper, and
Can't imagine not having it.
I think
I don't really want a bidet.
the people around me need me, so hey.
August 27th is Just Because Day. August 30th is Frankenstein Day. Frankenstein. And Big Daddy to you. And August 31st is National Eat Outside Day.
I prefer to eat inside. And on August 31st, it's probably still going to be pretty hot, too. Usually.
Could be.
Yes.
You know, I always noticed when, I don't know if I've just proudly announced this or not, but I've been a member of the Dollar Shave Club for a while. They finally accepted my nomination. There's a tough vetting process to get in. Not everybody gets into the Dollar Shave Club. I mean, especially if you only have 50 cents, you don't get into the Dollar Shave Club. You got to have a whole dollar in order to.
I only had 95, so I'm stuck with Harry's.
In order to get in, right. So, proud member of the Dollar Shave Club, which has made it much easier for me because now I don't have to go to the store and beg for permission from a customer service representative to unlock the case and then unlock the Fort Knox plastic box that surrounds the razor blades. Now, I'm a little surprised that when my bounty from the Dollar Shave Club arrives, it doesn't require a signature. Because if you use the way that the stores treat razor blades, you would think that anyone transporting razor blades, there would need to be a chain of custody involving signatures of some kind, be it the mail carrier or be it me to sign off and say, I got this liquid gold. Now, if you're in New York City, you may find your spam under lock and key. And I don't mean your email spam, your actual bona fide spam in a can with a key under lock and key.
Was it because the key can be a weapon?
Who knows? The 1-2 punch of inflation and rising crime has caused at least one New York City store to lock up its inventory of spam in a plastic case. Shoppers, store employees, and social media users expressed disbelief after discovering the $3.99 canned meat product out of reach behind lock and key at a Duane Reade inside New York City's Port Authority bus depot.
Are the Vienna sausages safe?
The potted meat.
Apparently they're not. Apparently thieves don't like them as well. Some of these things are pretty ridiculous, according
What
to
about the bologna?
43-year-old Jenny Kinney, who is visiting from Kentucky, who says she was aware of the crime spike in the city, but still couldn't believe there were so many items in boxes. Well, I mean, their mayor is not very happy about their lack of prosecutors prosecuting people for, I mean, people are just run amok. They're just allowed to steal, take, do whatever they want and suffer no punishment. So you say, we draw the line at spam. We got to put the spam under.
Well, hey, if you cook the spam the right way, it's good.
Sam, why don't they just take the keys off of the can? If they just take the spam key,
You can't get in there.
away, they could never get in there, and so they would just be frustrated, and that would deter them from. Maybe that's the problem of the spam invention, is that they put the key. It's like leaving the keys in your car. If you're just going to put the key right there on the side of the can, then you're just inviting people to steal.
Could jump on in there.
Sure. And they say, ha ha, I got the can and the key. You'll never catch me. Oh, now they put it under a plastic dome. What do you call those things?
Security box.
They got to have an actual name, though. In the
Yeah.
industry, there's got to be like a 2-syllable word for that they refer to it. Go get a, right? I have to find out what that is. Mars is offering new M&M's Mad Scientist Mix for Halloween. I hate to mention it because some of you are going to say, oh, it's August 1st. Time to get my Halloween decorations out. No, it's not, by the way. New M&M Mad Scientist Mix Snickers and Twix Ghoulish Green Bars for Halloween. The 2022 Halloween season will feature M&M's Mad Scientist Mix. So, okay. I got some of that. We saw some of this last week, the M&M's mix, but the Snickers and the Twix are new to me.
Is that milk chocolate? The picture's a little bigger in front of you. What else is in there?
Milk chocolate,
Peanut
peanut
butter.
butter, and peanut.
Oh, I don't see why that wouldn't be bad.
That sounds pretty good, actually. Now, some restaurants try messing with their coloration of their food, to add dye to it to make it festive.
Green eggs and ham.
Well, I wasn't thinking more like that. I was thinking it seemed like Burger King do like a purple hamburger or something not too long ago.
Yeah,
that-
something.
just
Yeah.
just be
Or
prepared
a black
for that.
bun, or
Yeah,
it was,
yeah.
it was
just-
something like that.
Just you may see that all the way through. So just
Well, hey,
anyway.
Burger King also at one time did a green Shrek slushy that was delicious. So sometimes putting that extra color in there makes it taste better.
Well, this should be right up your alley then. Snickers Ghoulish Greens are a Shrek color, and your Twix Ghoulish Green. So the nougat has just been
Dyed green.
made
Yeah.
green. So I think I would be okay with this.
I mean, I don't. In a lot of ways, if you like Snickers and you like Twix, I don't know why you wouldn't like this.
Right.
It's just green.
I think I like that Mad Scientist mix.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I mean, what's not to like?
Yeah, I think I can get on board with that. Now that remote work seems to be here to stay, the travel industry is seeing the effects. This summer, 20% of travelers are planning to work while they're on the road. Among those travelers, 4 out of 5 plan to prolong their trip because of flexible job schedules. For example, flights have historically been more expensive on weekends and cheaper during the week, but that could change now that more people are working remotely. Travel booking app Hopper has found that the cost of domestic flights on Sundays has risen 5.9%, and domestic flights on Mondays has risen 2.97%. Meanwhile, flight prices have dropped by 3.04% on Fridays and 1.6% on Saturdays, making Saturday a cheaper day to fly than Monday.
Interesting.
I always thought, I've always heard in the business world or in the travel world, if you can afford to go to a travel destination and get there on Monday and leave on Friday for whatever reason, you're going to save a huge amount of money just because the demand isn't there. Most people, if you have a job that requires you to be at your job on a schedule, chances are you can't travel before a Saturday and you need to be back on a Saturday or Sunday. But now that you can work from anywhere or you can, I have found a lot of people, well, there's a current maybe she's a current contestant on Big Brother. In her setup interview, she talked about all the places that she's been in the last couple of years because her job is remote. And she can just go and stay places a month at a time. And if you can negotiate rates for an entire month at a hotel where they don't have to provide all those services and set the room up and all that, you can travel much more, efficiently and affordably. You can do an Airbnb or whatever. And so it's just going to change the way that people are able to do things. And then I finally learned this morning, there is a word for the condition that causes Christy Buckles, when she sees a baby, to immediately go running for it and want to pinch it and squeeze it and hug it and pet it and call his name George.
Oh, dear.
Right? Do you know how you are?
I
when
do
you see
know
a baby?
how I am,
Like
yes.
you start to tiptoe around and you get this, and your elbows go out like, let me see that baby. Right?
Yes, let me get a hold of it.
That's right. So if you're presented with something unbearably cute, a baby perhaps, a puppy, a kitten, and are suddenly gripped by an overwhelming desire to pinch, squeeze, crush, snuggle, kiss, what you are experiencing is known as cute aggression. And it's commonly experienced by about 70% of the adult population. 7 in 10 people do this?
Yeah.
I just thought it was...
Be more towards a dog,
Thought it was-
potentially.
thought it
Maybe
was-
not so much the baby, but the dog.
Yeah. I thought it was Sam when he sees his favorite sporting event. He gets all... So at least I know there's a label for it when I see you do that. Let me have a hold of that baby. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. We got more on the way. Today's water cooler question is coming up here on In the Know.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start August 15th. Call 270-259-1540 or visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
Hi, I'm Mark Marsh, President and CEO of Owensboro Health. Inside these walls, we provide leading-edge care for our communities. But outside these walls, we're showing how much we care too by tackling issues like access to care and food security, and with initiatives like community health investment grants that address health priorities across the region. We figure any way we can help improve lives, well, that's just good medicine. We want to keep you healthy. We want to make you proud.
Cormark is now hiring. If you are in search of a goal-oriented career, look no further. Cormark is here. We are ready to support you and your career goals. Cormark now offers competitive starting rates with incentive that allows you to earn up to $20 an hour in your first 90 days. You'll discover a culture that encourages you to grow, challenges to achieve, and embraces you as family. Show us your power and earn the money you deserve. Cormark now offers starting rates with incentive that allows you to earn up to $20 an hour in your first 90 days. Apply online at careers.cormark.com.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind. And when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember, at Midway Pharmacy.
To memorialize the loss of a loved one, let T-Shirt Express help with a range of products to celebrate life, from quality custom casket inserts, laser engraved wind chimes, urn, or a photo blanket. To personalize the memory of your loved one, see T-Shirt Express in the Bright Pink Building on West Main Street in Litchfield. To memorialize the loss of a loved one, let T-Shirt Express help with a range of products to celebrate life.
The Lumineers Brightside World Tour, bringing their energetic live show to Louisville August 31st at KFC Yum Center. Multi-platinum selling artist, The Lumineers.
You've been on my mind, girl, since
With special guest James Bay.
Come on, let it go. Just let it be. Where we are, I don't know where we are, but it will be.
The Lumineers pick up their new album, Brightside, out now. Tickets on sale now, online at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss the Lumineers Live at KFC Yum Center August 31st. Produced by Messina Touring Group and AEG Presents.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather.
Showers and even a few rumbles of thunder early on here, but those will be fading out. In fact, we'll end up with a humid afternoon. Relatively quiet for a few hours before thunderstorms really light up the radar again toward this evening and overnight. Some of those could actually be on the strong, if not even severe side. Damage of winds, one of the main issues we need to watch with those for the night, so make sure you have a way to get alerts just in case. The Wave Storm Tracking Team, I'm Brian Good.
The 105 Days of Summer is powered by Litchfield Exterminating here on the Twin Lakes Best Mix, K105.
Did you know Whitney Houston's favorite cereal was Fruity Pebbles?
Really?
Yep. Whitney was a Fruity Pebbles kind of gal.
Interesting.
I have that on very, very good authority, so you don't have to question it. I know that to be the truth.
I mean, I couldn't tell you last time I had them, but it's not a bad cereal by any means.
There's some Fruity Pebbles.
Yes.
Yes, I was
And
about
Lucky
to say,
Charms.
it's like, oh, both. Okay, because I was going to say, is it
Mhm.
Fruity Pebbles or Lucky Charms?
Both.
We have some both in our auxiliary pantry.
Mhm. Which is
that a good name?
You've got
the auxiliary pantry.
Two pantries?
Yeah, we have an auxiliary pantry.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's the top of the refrigerator.
It's the overflow.
It's the overflow. And so, yeah. Here's today's water cooler question. If you've not won in the last 30 days and you're 18 years of age or older, you qualify to win by texting your answer to 270-259-6000. 270-259-6000 is the number you'll text your answer to. Nearly 6 out of 10 dogs do this in their sleep. Nearly 6 out of 10 dogs do this in their sleep. 270-259-6000. Text the answer to 270-259-6000. Lots of dog content on the show today. My board is about dogs. So for those of you not watching, my board today says, dogs think you go hunting for groceries. Like you come home loaded down with stuff to eat, and dog goes, wow, you must have had a busy day hunting for all those groceries. Like, yeah, it's rough.
See what you did there.
For me, I had to pull in a parking lot right there and open the door and have somebody throw them in there and say, come back, see you soon.
Was
Okay.
that not intentional?
Was what not intentional?
It's rough. It was
Oh,
rough.
yeah. No, actually, it was just, it was Freudian, if anything. Top Gun Maverick soars toward $1.3 billion at the global box office. It has gained an additional $13.8 million internationally to a cumulative total of $671 million at international markets. Domestically, the film added $8.2 million this weekend as it remains strong at the box office in a total $650 million, one of the best showings of all time. We were going to see a movie on Friday.
We had good intentions,
We had very good intentions.
but we forget our age, I think.
Well, yeah. So we had a busy afternoon of shopping. It was my birthday on Friday, and so I didn't want to be on a schedule.
But I was the one who ended up with more things. So
Yeah, it was an enjoyable day though. We were taking we had gift cards to places that we don't get to use, and so we just went and
I
we
got
did
new
those,
running shoes.
We did those things, but our dining experience ran the pace of that was a little long.
Yeah.
And so I debated the day between Crawdads and Elvis. I couldn't decide to Crawdads or Elvis, Crawdads or Elvis. And Elvis is 159 minutes without the previews. So I thought,
that's a long movie.
And I would have only done it because it was his birthday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so we got into so here's where it came down to. By the time we were finished dining, and I didn't want to be on a schedule, didn't want to have to rush, didn't want to have to do. We just decided that it was too late for the early show and it was too early for the late show, and we just said, well, the movies will be here anytime we want to come back to them. So we called it a day. That sounded like a very over the hill kind of approach.
Sounds like somebody celebrating their 51st birthday, right?
That's right. Yeah, I told my Aunt Donna, I said, you don't have to smell all the roses in a single day.
Exactly.
You can leave some roses for another day if you want to. And her birthday was yesterday, so I talked to her on Friday because it was my birthday. I talked to her yesterday because it was her birthday. All right, what else do you need to know about? Kenan Thompson reveals when he thinks Saturday Night Live should end. During an appearance on a Comedy Central show.
Last year?
Maybe. Well, he was asked about the idea that SNL could be ending after its 50th season, which would premiere in the fall of 2024, wrap up in the spring of 2025. That rumor first started in December when SNL creator Lorne Michaels said that he's considering retiring and leaving the comedy variety show behind after its 50th season. So Kenan said, is that the rumor? All right, well, I need to start planning. He said there could be a lot of validity to that rumor because 50 is a good number to stop at. That's an incredible package. He will be probably close to 80 years old at that point, and he's the one who's had his touch on the whole thing. Capping it at 50 might not be a bad idea. So that did make me wonder, could there be a Saturday Night Live without Lorne Michaels? He was there episode 1. Mm-hmm. He has not been there for every one. There was a brief step away, and then he came back. But he's been there for most of them. So just to have bookends, 50 years.
50 years is good.
Yeah.
There are just other ways now that we have. It's not, it still is for me because of my age. It's like Saturday night. It's Saturday Night Live. Let's see what they're parroting, what they're spoofing. But it is harder and harder for them to stay relevant. And I think if it loses Lorne Michaels, I think it doesn't last a lot longer anyway. So they better off just to go out while they're, I wouldn't say on top because they're not on top. But between Comedy Central and The Daily Show and Colbert, and also you can get time-shifted content. James Corden, most people watch him in the evenings on YouTube rather than watching him at 11:35 Central on CBS. So is there still a place for SNL? And so maybe it will end after the season 50. We'll see. All right, let's check in, see if we got a winner.
Somebody's got this.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
1571 knew first bark. And more specifically, bark during a dream. But when you're in a sleep, how do you know if a dog's in a dream or not? But bark. 1571 was first to say bark. So congratulations to
I put snore.
them. Snore.
Mm-hmm, but that's probably a higher percentage.
Yeah.
I like it when they run or kick their legs in their sleep.
I had
yeah.
We lost 3 people over the weekend that you would probably know. Nichelle Nichols, who was a barrier breaker on Star Trek. She was the first black woman to play a major role on a primetime television show on Star Trek. So she passed that. She started that role in 1966. So she passed at age 89. You probably know that Bill Russell, the NBA legend, who won a bunch of titles as a coach and as a player, and part of the civil rights movement, etc., was passed yesterday at age 88. But then one you probably have not heard about her passing, but definitely know her voice, Pat Carroll, who was the infamous voice of Ursula on The Little Mermaid, has gone on in at age 95. So, you know that Ursula voice.
Oh,
That is
distinctive.
iconic. She's in several things. She was on the Jimmy Durante Show, the Danny Thomas Show. She was on Laverne and Shirley, an episode. She was on at least some episodes of ER. But infamously, the voice of Ursula in The Little Mermaid. So going on in, rest in peace to those three. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap it up for the morning here on In the Know.
Are your children having trouble with their grades? Well, most parents explore all the typical reasons, like study habits and the influence of friends. But they usually overlook one crucial area, the child's learning style. Hi, this is Jim Daly with Focus on the Family. When Cynthia Tobias was a child, she struggled with traditional classroom education. Unlike her younger sister, who was a compliant and serious student, Cynthia was determined to do things her own way. Fortunately, her father was wise enough to make the most of his daughter's temperament. Like the time she came to him and said, "Dad, I want to speak Spanish." And he said, "Well, it's a good idea. Why don't you go learn how?" And you know what? That's exactly what she did. With her dad's support and encouragement, she often learned new things in a manner that fit her independent learning style. And what's more, when she grew up and became a teacher, it helped her see that students are more successful when their education fits their particular learning style. Some kids can sit still and listen to their teacher, while others need to move around and interact with the material. Others struggle with numbers but easily understand words and sentences, or they find math and grammar a chore, but are gifted in art and music. The wisest parents are the ones who know how to harness their child's learning style and use it to its best possible advantage. For more information on effective parenting, visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
Hello?
Hey, stranger.
Oh, hi. Thank goodness it's you. I was afraid to answer the phone.
Why? What's up?
The credit card companies are after me. They want me to make payments and the calls never stop.
Ouch. Been there before, but I got help from Trinity Debt Management.
Trinity?
Yeah, I called and right away Trinity contacted my creditors and got my interest rates cut in half. They ended all the late fees and over-limit charges, and they stopped those annoying phone calls.
Bet that was a relief.
Yep. Then they put me on a plan that consolidated my bills into one easy monthly payment. That way, I paid off my debt fast while saving thousands.
Nice.
Trinity even showed me how to plan and meet a monthly budget. So now I'm debt-free for keeps.
Wow. Do you still have their number?
Sure. Here, write this down and call 1-800-990-6976.
Can you repeat that?
1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
We sell the best and fix the rest.
For new appliances at great prices, shop My Father's House in Clarkson. My Father's House has been a name you trust for great values on great brand names and appliances. Now, during the cash and carry sale, get an Amana washer and dryer set for only $900 or a 21 cubic foot Whirlpool refrigerator for only $775.
We sell the best and fix the rest.
See Danny at My Father's House Monday through Friday from 10 to 2 on East Main Street, Clarkson.
When your baby leaves you all alone and nobody calls you on the phone,
MB's point to ponder for today.
don't you feel like a crying?
Does anyone have a negative number as their favorite number?
Well, here I am, honey. Come on.
I just don't know. I never really pondered that.
Could a golfer?
It's potential. Mm-hmm.
Golfer potentially.
His lowest score?
Say, oh, my favorite number is -9. Like 9 under par. I mean, most of, do you have a favorite number, Sam?
I don't really know. I've never really. I mean, when I played sports, I was usually 1 or 21.
Okay.
But
not -1.
No.
You wouldn't be -1 or -21.
Well, you can't do that on a uniform.
I'm just saying that you. I mean, people may be missing out on some great opportunities. You got double the number of numbers to choose from. If you consider the negative number.
True.
Oh, that eyebrow is way high over there. Why are you looking at me with such a
I don't want to go there.
eyebrow?
Yeah, it's already.
All right, today's highlight in history. This date in 1936, the Olympics opened in Berlin with a ceremony presided over by Adolf Hitler. Lots of changes in the next few years after that. In 1876, Colorado was admitted as the 38th state. In 1957, the United States and Canada announced they had agreed to create the North American Air Defense Command, or NORAD. And then the next day, they decided how they were going to track Santa.
I was going to say, when I hear NORAD, that's all I think of.
That's all I think of, yeah.
Let's go to... So isn't it true that I think this is either really good legend or it's actually true, that sometime, in NORAD's history, a newspaper somewhere got it wrong, printed a number to call and track Santa. Someone was doing it. They had this elaborate setup, but they printed the number wrong, and the number they printed was NORAD, and NORAD got all of these calls about tracking Santa, and then they decided, well, yeah, that makes sense. We could do that, and that's how it became tradition.
Huh? No, I hadn't heard that.
I think I'm not 100% certain that's the way that it went, but I think there's
some validity to it.
Yeah, NORAD just didn't suddenly go, hey, let's start doing. I think they were kind of drawn into it, and they leaned into it rather than saying, oh, it's not us. Birthdays today. Basketball Hall of Fame coach Roy Williams is 72. Rock singer Joe Elliott from Def Leppard is 63. Chuck D from Public Enemy is 62. Coolio is 59. Tempest Bledsoe is 49 today. Jason Momoa is 43 today. MTV was born this date in 1981. Gone but not forgotten, William Clark, born in 1770. Francis Scott Key in 1779. Herman Melville in 1819. Yves Saint Laurent in 1936. Jerry Garcia in 1942. Find a chart topper for you today. Let's go to 1949, right after the invention of sound. Sound was invented in late July 1948. This is Gordon Jenkins again in 1949.
I think it's probably safe to say you're lucky that one Dennis C. Cook is not here, because I feel like he'd be adding that to his sleep playlist.
No, I think he'd be adding lyrics to that is what he'd be doing.
Potentially, maybe a little bit of both.
Maybe. Bobby Darin, number 1 in 58.
Just relaxing in the tub, thinking everything was alright. Well, I stepped out the tub, put my feet on the floor. I wrapped the towel around me and I opened the door. And in a splish splash, I jumped back in the bath.
Let's go to 1967 and Procol Harum, number 1, and Whiter Shade of Pale. I never quite understood this song.
We skip the light fandango.
Like, what's the light fandango and how do you skip it?
He turns cartwheels across the floor.
Cartwheels.
He's got a good
light
mustache. I'll give him that. You just missed it. It's a solid mustache. There it is. There it is. That's a good mustache.
The crowd called out for more.
I just don't really, I don't know.
I mean, it's not the worst thing you've ever played on this station.
Moonlight Feels Right by Starbuck, number 1 in 76.
You did play Alabama last week.
Sam at K105.com.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yeah, no, go for it.
Throwing shade at Alabama. I've never heard this song before, but it was a number 1 song in 76. Starbuck, Moonlight Feels Right.
I'll take you on a trip beside the ocean.
Let's go to 1985. Whitney Houston.
Got any Fruity Pebbles?
You Give Good Love.
Told you we had some at home. I think she'll share with you.
Who?
Yeah.
Alea would?
Yeah, she will share. Yeah.
Maybe. Number 1 in 1994. Depends on the day. Coolio, number 1. Birthday Boy was number 1 this day in 94 with Fantastic Voyage. Ride.
Shippity style, ain't switches on the block in a 65.
All right, I need to get a couple more in here real quick, but we're running out of time. I do want to take you back to 2003, 19 years ago today, the Black Eyed Peas, Justin Timberlake featured with Where Is the Love?
Madness is what you demonstrate, and that's exactly how anger works and operates. Man, you gotta have love to set it straight. Take control of your mind and meditate. Let your soul.
They talk about the CIA and all that good stuff.
It's a good song.
Maroon 5, Payphone was number 1 10 years ago today. And a year ago today, Dua Lipa featuring The Baby, number 1 with Levitating. All right, MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Henry Ford said, don't find fault, find a remedy. Don't find fault, find a remedy. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes,